Okay, let's try this again. This is a worksheet on multiplying fractions, and the video I made, because we did the work in class and you're asked to finish it up at homework, um, then it became too long for YouTube to post. And so let's try this again. Um, Normally, when you're multiplying, you can multiply straight across, numerators with numerators, denominators with denominators, multiply the numerators together, um, multiply the denominators together, and then simplify. But I like to simplify first. It makes the problem so much easier for me. And so I come in here, anything that's on the top will simplify with anything that's on the bottom. So if I divide by 2 over 2 here, if I divide by 2, that becomes a 1. I divide by 2, that becomes a 5. And then I multiply, I get 1/15. And so I have to find 1/15 over here, and then I scribble it out. I don't have to do a great job of the scribbling. I just need to scribble out that little section. For number 2, I've got a 5 on top, 5 on bottom. If I divide by 5/5, I get 1 and 1. 3 and 9, I divide by 3/3. That becomes a 1. That becomes a 3. When I multiply, I get 1/3. And so I look for 1/3, and that's that little symbol or that little shape right there. And then lastly on this page, 8 and 2 work really well together. I get divide by 2 over 2. I get 4 and 1. When I multiply, I get 4/3, but when I look for 4/3, it's not there. I had to know that 4 divided by 3 gives you a 1 and 1/3, which is over here in the middle. Okay, and so then I'm going to go on to the next set of problems with those shapes already filled in for me. The 6 and the 10, if I divide by 2, that becomes a 3. Divide by 2, that becomes 5. I get that's 5 over 21 down in this bottom corner. 5/5 becomes a 1 and a 1. 3/3, that becomes a 3 and a 4. And when I multiply, I get 3/4. 5 and 15 becomes a 3 and a 1. 6 and a 4, I divide by 2 over 2. That becomes a 3 and a 2. I get 9/2. 2 goes into 9 4.5 times. Okay. Down here, 10 and 5 over 5. That becomes a 5 and a 2. 3 over 3, that becomes a 3 and a 2. I get 15/4, which is the same as 4 goes into 15 3 times with 3 left over, 3 and 3/4. That little shape right there. This is going to be like 24 over 1. That's a multiply sign. 24 on the top, 8 on the bottom, divided by 8 over 8. I get 1, 3. 5 times 3 is 15. The 1 and 1 is just 1. 15. Oh, way down here at the bottom. 20 over 1. 20 and 4 work really well together. Divide by 4/4. That becomes a 5. 7 times 5 is 35. And so there we go. Am I still on the front side? Well, I'm going to get a couple more, and then we'll discuss. I think I'm on good pace. Divide by 5/5, I get 7/3, or 7 and 3. I divide by 4, I get 3 and 4. I multiply, I get 9/28. That's not nice. Did I do that right? Is 9/28 one of the answers? Oh, it is. Right there. 9/28. 7 and 21 work really well together. I get 3 and 1. 2 works great with 8. That becomes 4 and 1. That's just 12. And so 12 is down here. 10 and 5 work well together. I go 2 and 1 if I do 5/5. 3 and 12 work well together, 1 and 4. So I get 1/8 as the answer. Where's 1/8? Is right here. We've got three numbers now. Anything on top with anything on the bottom. So like the 9 and the 3 work well together. The 4 and the 2 work well together. I end up with 2 on the top. 1 times 3 times 5 is 15, 2/15. And here I go. 6, 6 work well together. It's a 1 and a 1. 7/7 is a 1 and a 1. Then 5 and 10 is a 1 and a 2. So I end up with 1/2. Way down here again. I think I'm jumping low, middle, high, or something like that. There's a pattern to that, I'm sure, if I were to look. 8 and 4 work really well together. That becomes a 2 and a 1. Well, now I've got a 2 on top and a 12 on the bottom. That becomes a 1 and a 6. 9 and 6 divide by 3. I get 3 and 2. Anything else? Anything else? Anything else? Oh, 3 and 5, 15. 3 becomes a 1 and 15 becomes a 5. I end up with 11/10, which is 1 and 1/10. 1 and 1/10 in the middle-ish. 30/1. Oh, 6 and 30 work well together. I'd get a 5 and a 1. 5 and 5 work well together. I'd get a 1 and a 1. There's nothing left on the bottom, so it's just 7 times 2. 14. Way up here. I'm getting there. 16 and 8 work well together. 8 goes into both of those. 9 and 3 work well together. 3 and 1. I get 4 times 2 is 8. And then on the bottom I get just 3. 8/3 is the same as 2 and 2/3. I'm running out of spaces, so it should be quicker now. 4 cancels with the 4. 3 cancels with the 3. I end up with a bunch of 1s. 5 cancels with 5. I get 1. Here we go. And then I got some word problems. And here we go. I think I'm going to get this all in one video. 8 gold bars, don't really care about 8 gold bars. I need 4/5 of 1 bar and 1/2. I need to know what half of 4, yeah, I'm going to do 4/5 times a half, or, that's going to be the same as 1/2 times 4/5. It doesn't matter. The 4 and the 2 simplify. The 4 and 2 would simplify. I would end up with 2/5. 2/5. That's this one right up here. And 40 students, a fourth of them play viola. So 1/4 of 40 is 10. 1/5 of 40 is 8. That's 18 people. Minus the 40 people, that gives me 22 people. That's this one right here. And then lastly, they ate a half a pound. They've got a half a pound, 2/3 of it for lunch. How much is left? Oh, they're tricky. See this, if they ate 2/3, then 1/3 is left. And so I would have 1/2 times 1/3, which is just simply 1/6, which is this guy right there. So the joke, what has a bottom at the top? The answer is a leg. Your leg has a bottom at the top. Okay, hopefully that uploads today, and I'll see you in the next video.